Gamers, buckle up, because 2025 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years in gaming history. We have long-awaited sequels, massive open worlds, reboots of beloved classics, and indie titles that might just steal the spotlight. In this video, we will break down the most anticipated games of the year, giving you all the details, rumors, and expectations from the community. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and let us dive right in. It's been more than a decade since Skyrim first dropped back in 2011, and fans have been begging for a new Elder Scrolls ever since. Bethesda has been incredibly quiet, giving us only a short teaser back in 2018, but that was enough to spark years of speculation. So what do we actually know? Officially, not much. But rumors suggest the game will be set in Hammerfell, a desert region filled with ancient ruins and rival kingdoms. Players expect a huge leap forward from Skyrim, procedural landscapes, fully voiced dynamic NPCs, and systems that let the world evolve as you play. The Elder Scrolls 6 has the impossible task of living up to Skyrim's legacy. Skyrim sold over 60 million copies and became one of the most modded games of all time. Fans don't just want bigger graphics. They want depth, immersion, and the kind of role-playing freedom only Elder Scrolls can deliver. And here's the kicker. Todd Howard himself said this is a game meant to be played for at least a decade. That means long-term support, expansions, and maybe even full integration with Creation Club mods. Whenever it launches, 2025 might finally be the year we return to Tamriel. There are also questions about exclusivity. Since Microsoft now owns Bethesda, many expect Elder Scrolls 6 to launch as an Xbox and PC exclusive, potentially skipping PlayStation entirely. If true, this would make it one of the most important console exclusives in history, a system seller for Xbox in the way Halo once was. That decision alone could reshape the gaming landscape for years to come. And let's not forget the long-term vision. Todd Howard has stated multiple times that Elder Scrolls 6 is a game meant to last at least a decade. That means expansions, modding tools, next-generation upgrades, and maybe even cloud-based features to ensure the game grows over time. This isn't just a release, it's a foundation for the future of role-playing games. So when will it actually come out? That's the million-dollar question. Some insiders suggest late 2025, others believe it could slip into 2026, or even 2027. But one thing is certain. When it does launch, the world will stop and play. Skyrim defined a generation. Elder Scrolls 6 has the potential to define the next one. GTA 6 is without question the most anticipated game of the decade. Rockstar finally confirmed its existence with a jaw-dropping trailer, showcasing a neon-soaked Vice City reimagined for modern hardware. This time around, we're getting two protagonists, Jason and Lucia, a Bonnie and Clyde-style duo, navigating crime, loyalty, and betrayal. The dual character system lets you switch perspectives, creating new storytelling opportunities that Rockstar has never explored before, but the real star is the open world. Developers describe it as the most dynamic, reactive city ever created. NPCs won't just wander aimlessly, they'll have routines, personalities, and the ability to interact with you in unpredictable ways. Add in dynamic weather systems, evolving neighborhoods, and an online mode that's expected to push boundaries even further than GTA Online. To give you perspective, GTA 5 has sold nearly 200 million copies since 2013. It's still one of the top-selling games every year. GTA 6 doesn't just need to match that, it needs to surpass it. Expectations are sky high, but knowing Rockstar, they just might deliver. But with that ambition comes questions. How will Grand Theft Auto 6 run on current generation consoles like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X? Will it demand cloud streaming for some features? Will the game be too massive to fit on a single disc? Rockstar hasn't given answers, but fans know one thing. This will push hardware to its limits. There's also the question of tone. In today's political and cultural climate, can Rockstar still deliver the kind of biting satire it's known for, without crossing lines that spark controversy? The trailer suggests yes. We see parodies of influencers, viral stunts, and bizarre news stories straight out of real Florida headlines. If anything, modern culture is so absurd that Rockstar barely has to exaggerate it. GTA 6 has the potential to not just break records, but redefine them. GTA 5 sold 190 million copies. GTA 6 could easily surpass that within a few years. GTA 5 made billions of dollars in online revenue. GTA 6 could create the biggest online community we have ever seen. So buckle up, because Vice City is coming back, and Rockstar is ready to change gaming once again. It's been meme-worthy at this point. Silksong has been delayed so many times, fans joke it's never coming out. But 2025 looks like the year Team Cherry finally delivers. You play as Hornet, a faster, more agile protagonist compared to the Knight from the original game. The combat is much quicker, with new tools, crafting systems, and an expanded movement set that makes platforming more dynamic. The game will feature over 150 new enemies, multiple new kingdoms, and a soundtrack once again composed by Christopher Larkin. If you played the original Hollow Knight, you know how atmospheric and emotionally heavy that game could get. Silksong looks to expand that formula with more verticality, more quests, and a progression system that makes every playthrough unique. What's wild is how big the hype is for what started as an indie project. Hollow Knight was made by just 3 developers, and it became a cult phenomenon. Silksong now carries the weight of mainstream expectation. If it delivers, it could be one of the most celebrated indie sequels ever made. So when will it actually release? That's still uncertain. Team Cherry is a small studio, and they've said repeatedly that they'll only release Silksong when it's ready. This means no rush deadlines, no crunch, and hopefully no major bugs at launch. What we do know is that when Silksong finally arrives, it won't just be another indie game release, it'll be a gaming event. The original Hollow Knight carved its place in history as one of the best Metroidvanias of all time. Silksong has the potential to surpass it, to become the definitive evolution of the genre. So, whether it's this year, next year, or even later, one thing is certain. The wait for Silksong will be worth it. Back in the early 2000s, Fable was one of Xbox's defining RPG franchises. Known for its humor, morality system, and fairy tale world, it was quirky, funny, and surprisingly deep. Now, after years of silence, Microsoft is rebooting the series with Playground Games, the studio behind Forza Horizon, leading development. This isn't just a remake, it's a full reboot built in Unreal Engine 5. Expect lush forests, magical creatures, and that classic British humor that made the original games so memorable. Developers have hinted that choice and consequence will be even more impactful, shaping not just your character, but the world itself. The challenge here is balancing nostalgia with modern design. What about release date? Microsoft hasn't confirmed anything concrete, but most analysts expect Fable to arrive in 2025 or 2026. Given that the game has been in development for years already, we're likely approaching a point where more gameplay will finally be revealed. And since it's an Xbox Game Studios title, it will launch day one on Game Pass for both PC and Xbox. So why does this matter? Because the RPG genre has exploded since Fable was last on the scene. Games like Skyrim, The Witcher, and Elden Ring have raised the bar for open-world role-playing. For Fable to succeed, it doesn't just need to meet those standards. It needs to stand out. And from what we've seen so far, Playground Games is aiming to do exactly that. Fable is more than just another RPG. It's a chance to bring back the magic, the humor, and the heart that made the original trilogy so beloved. A chance to remind players that fantasy worlds don't have to be grimdark all the time. They can be bright, funny, and still deeply meaningful. When it finally launches, Fable has the potential to be one of the most important Xbox exclusives of this generation. And for fans who grew up kicking chickens in Albion, the wait will have been worth it. Prepare for a spine-chilling return to Raccoon City with Resident Evil. Requiem, the 9th main game in Capcom's legendary survival horror franchise, set for release on February 27th, 2026, on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. After years of less creepy installments, Requiem positions itself as a return to atmospheric storytelling and horror tension at its finest. You'll play as FBI agent Grace Ashcroft, sent to investigate a string of gruesome deaths at the very hotel where her mother vanished years ago. A chilling echo that raises all the right questions. And true to series form, the game allows seamless switching between first-person and third-person views, offering both immersive horror and broader cinematic framing. Behind the scenes, the game was initially conceived as a multiplayer, open-world title. But after listening to fan feedback, Capcom pivoted design to something more traditional. A focused, single-player horror experience that fans have hungered for. From an insider perspective, expect a highly polished re-release. The RE engine and Capcom's fidelity standards hint at breathtaking lighting, photorealistic character models, eerily realistic environments, and destructible horror tech. The Raccoon City sections, including the ill-famed police station and now ruined hotel, are expected to be the creepiest and most detailed yet. Regarding game editions and pricing, the standard OIA model points to $69.99 for digital or retail standard edition, with deluxe or collector editions possibly reaching $89 to $99, featuring digital art books, original soundtrack, and behind-the-scenes documentaries. Pre-orders will likely begin in late 2025. On the PC front, leaks suggest Requiem demands modern hardware. Estimated requirements are NVIDIA RTX 3070 or Radeon RX 6800 or better, 16 GB RAM, and an SSD with 80 to 100 GB free space. Expect scalable ray tracing and high-res textures, especially with high-end rigs, while consoles get performance and quality modes. Insider chatter and the community buzz point to a revival of classic Resident Evil tension. Stalker enemies, limited ammo, dynamic puzzle sequences, and dread-soaked environments, all punctuated by sudden jump scares and psychological dread. Grace's chase by a monstrous pursuit entity, akin to Mr. X or Lady Dimitrescu, might define much of the terror. And yes, fans are already theorizing it is multiple factions in pursuit, hinting at layered story paths. Capcom has scheduled a new gameplay trailer to debut at Gamescom 2025 during Opening Night Live. This will likely include live demo runs, gameplay reveals, possibly Leon S. Kennedy cameo confirmations. Building hype for one of the most widely anticipated horror titles of 2026. Insomniac Games has already proven they can handle superheroes with Spider-Man and Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Now they're taking on one of Marvel's most beloved characters, Wolverine. The teaser showed Logan in a bar, claws out, with a grittier, more violent tone than Spider-Man. Insomniac has promised this won't just be a reskin. Wolverine will be a mature, narrative-driven game with brutal melee combat and cinematic storytelling. Fans are hoping for an open hub system similar to Spider-Man, but with more grounded personal missions. The big question is whether Wolverine will be an open-world game like Spider-Man, or something more focused and linear. Insomniac has not officially confirmed, but most insiders believe it will lean toward a semi-open-world design. Not as huge as Manhattan, but large enough to explore key locations tied to Wolverine's story. Expect bars, snowy Canadian wilderness, secret labs, and possibly even a trip to Madripoor, the infamous crime-ridden island from the comics. Combat is where Wolverine really shines. Instead of gadgets and web tricks, this game will be all about close quarters, visceral melee action. Logan's adamantium claws, his feral senses, and his near-invulnerable healing factor make him a completely different kind of hero. If Insomniac gets this right, Fights will feel raw, fast, and dangerous, with finishers that make you wince. Think less Arkham stealth, more in-your-face brutality. Story details are still scarce, but leaks suggest the game might explore Wolverine's origin, perhaps his Weapon X days, while also leaving room for cameos from other X-Men characters. This makes sense, since Sony and Marvel are clearly building a connected gaming universe. We've already seen Spider-Man thrive. Now imagine a future where Spider-Man and Wolverine eventually cross paths in a game. Visually, if the teaser trailer is anything to go by, Wolverine will look incredible. Built on the same engine as Spider-Man 2, the game is expected to fully leverage the power of the PlayStation 5, with ray tracing, realistic character models, and highly detailed environments. Combine that with Insomniac's mastery of cinematic storytelling, and this could easily be one of the most visually striking Marvel games ever made. As for release timing, nothing has been officially confirmed. Insiders suggest 2025 or 2026 is realistic, given that Insomniac is still working on multiple projects simultaneously. When it does release, you can expect it to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, at least at launch, and very likely priced at the standard $69.99 for a AAA title. Sony's first-party releases have all followed this pricing model, and Wolverine will almost certainly be no different. To sum it up, Marvel's Wolverine has the potential to be a game-changer for superhero titles. While Spider-Man delivered the thrill of swinging across a city, Wolverine could deliver the raw intensity of surviving as one of the most dangerous mutants in Marvel history. If Insomniac nails the tone, the combat, and the story, this could end up being not just a great Marvel game, but one of the defining PlayStation exclusives of the generation. Let's shift our focus to a game that might fly under the radar but promises to deliver something truly special. Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra. Developed by Skydance New Media and written by industry icon Amy Hennig, known for Uncharted, this action-adventure game plunges players into an alternate World War II scenario, featuring Captain America and Black Panther. The setting: occupied Paris. The mission: stop Hydra before they rise and rewrite history. What sets this apart is the pairing of Steve Rogers and King T'Challa, a blend of super soldier and Wakandan royalty against a backdrop of Nazi-occupied France. The trailer teased infiltration-based gameplay, stealth, and cinematic storytelling, with stealth segments likely leaning more toward Metal Gear-style tactics than Iron Man-style mayhem. It's story-driven, grounded, and deeply cinematic, very much Amy Hennig's signature style. One especially cool mechanic being whispered about in insider circles is the dual character synergy. You may start missions as Captain America, leading frontal assaults with shield throw and stealth takedown combos. But situations could force you to switch to Black Panther to navigate narrow passages, use vibranium-based cloaking, or execute agile parkour through enemy lines. Two heroes forced to work as one. As for cost, while no official MSRP is in yet, we can safely expect a full-price AAA tag. Given recent pricing trends, I'd peg it at around $69.99 for the standard edition, with collectors or deluxe versions possibly reaching $89 to $99, especially if Skydance packages artbooks, soundtrack, or behind-the-scenes content. If they release a special Wakanda edition with physical extras, expect pre-orders to spread like wildfire. System-wise, sources suggest Marvel 1943 will require a mid-high spec PC to shine. Rough estimates: RTX 4070 or Radeon RX 7800 class for 4K visuals, 16GB RAM, and a Ryzen 5 5600X or Intel i5 12600K or better. On consoles, it's expected to hit PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X or S, with dynamic 4K and 60 FPS modes. But on base Pro models, we could see a 30 FPS cap to prioritize resolution and cinematic fidelity. Release is slated for early 2026 across PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X or S. With only a few AAA 2026 titles locked in, Marvel 1943 stands out as a bold early-year release. it won't be overshadowed by GTA 6 or Resident Evil. Stay tuned to Gamescom or State of Play for deeper gameplay reveals, but for now, it's one of the year's most intriguing side bets in big-name gaming. Of course, that's not all. Each of these has the potential to dominate headlines in 2025. So there you have it, the most anticipated games of 2025. It's shaping up to be an incredible year no matter what you play. Which title are you most hyped for? Let us know in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed this breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest gaming news. Until next time, keep playing and stay hyped.